Hello, welcome to the next video, my MSI 2022 preview. I'm covering Detonation FocusMe from the LJL. This is the top-ranked smaller region team I have, top-ranked minor region team. Last year they made a little bit of noise at Worlds, and it was nice to see from a region that has struggled to get out of play-ins time and time again. EV being a stalwart when it comes to that. It's his 7th international appearance. If you haven't watched one of these videos before that I do, I take the international experience, write it down on the board, go over it with you, and give you a vibe on what this team may offer coming into the tournament. Obviously, these rankings are within a, how do I put this? Well, the top 4 in each ranking are reserved for the major regions. And the reason being, when you look at stats, you cannot say, X player from, LJL is got, a CS of 10 per minute. So obviously they dominate lane. And it's like, yeah, but they're not against Gumiushi or whomever else, Upset or Viper or whoever. Like, that person is against people in their region. So sure, you may be really good in your region, but how do you compare a stat from a minor region to a major region? You really can't. So, when I look at the stats for the smaller regions, especially because I haven't watched them, it's purely statistics based. I've had a lot of people kind of comment on how, lately I've had people comment on how Titan may be underrated and CB low from the CB low. And I say to myself, well, his CS is down, his KDA is down. If you're not able to CS well against your own region, how are you going to fare when you're against Gumiushi or against Flacked or against Gala, So that's something you have to really consider. So back to this. Coach is Kazu. Kazu has actually played for the team, I think, once in an international event. He had to sub in, which was kind of crazy. I think it was last year's MSI maybe, because it's so recent in my head. He has helped them to 5 different international appearances. He's 13-22 as a coach. Like I said, this team struggles internationally. Last year being the first time that they actually made noise at Worlds. So EV I have 6th. His CS is low in international events. Let's just be straight up. EV struggles internationally. He pulls out picks every once in a while and gives you a little pizzazz, but otherwise he struggles. 7.22 CS per minute at an international event is not going to get it done. Like I said yesterday when I went over PSG and Hanabi's at the other end of the spectrum when it comes to CS per minute. His is over 8 at international events, and that is a good spot to be in as a smaller region. 31% win rate. He's had 45 international games between MSI and Worlds, which is a ton. Steel and Utapon have been with EV the last 5 times that they have went international. Detonation FocusMe is normally the team that escapes the LJL and goes to international events. So Steel I have 8th. Steel is not all that impressive. 35 games played. 5.3 CS per minute. That's fair. Within reason at an international event between 5 and 6 is pretty damn good for a jungler. So he keeps up. He just doesn't make a lot of things happen. Which leads me to the mid lane. Yahorang, the mid laner, no international experience. Harp, no international experience. So how do I, go over this with you and explain to you how these players might play? The mid laner is... He had really nice CS numbers compared to all the other smaller region mid laners. His KDA is nice, but he doesn't make things happen. So it's the opposite of a roaming mid laner, I believe, without really digging too deep. He doesn't do a lot. He doesn't make things happen, but he doesn't die. He gets ahead, and in the late game, he probably carries when he has to. Thinking Victors, thinking Corkis, thinking control, mage, control, mid laner. That has its pros and cons. As Steel, maybe you can say, I don't have to worry about this guy in international events. He will be okay. He's not going to die. He's going to farm well and play for late game. And instead, Steel can go to bot lane or top lane and influence the game that way, which EV historically may need some help. Which is kind of a read I'm getting from this team right now. Utapon, 80 carry. Like I said, I have him as the top ranked 80 carry. I have Harp as the top ranked 80 carry outside of the 4 major regions. I think that their numbers look really good in the LJL, and then comparing it to the other smaller regions, they're strong. Utapon, CS per minute's over 9 at international events. You have to have a CS per minute over 9 if you want to compete in the bot lane at international events. 265 KDA. I mean, KDA is whatever, but I think that Utapon offers a lot in the bot lane for this team. And then you look at Harp. Harp has nothing there. Looking at his stats, he seems to be a guy that likes to influence the game. He may not be making a lot of things happen, but when he does, they are executed on well. Kills occur. Gold is achieved. So he doesn't waste time. He doesn't make plays that hurt them, if that makes sense. Like some players will go and make a roam play, and sure, they roamed and their kill participation's high, but they lost the fight. Their KDA sucks or whatever. Harp is not like that. If Harp makes something happen, it's going to be executed on well. And this is all based on the numbers, at least, that I'm getting. I mean, we'll see what happens next week when they play, but I think this team's actually looking pretty good. I like that the mid laner is a control mage type of player, at least, I mean, the vibe I'm getting. So I think that really helps them. I think it helps to have a player that can keep up in mid and in top on a team that won't, be gapped, which is the thing. Like, as a smaller region, all you're trying to do is not get gapped. And I feel like that's where you have to focus on. I think you can't get behind by 20 CS and expect to win in a game in either solo lane at an international event. I just don't think you can do it. So comment down below if you have any opinions of your own on the LJL. Do you think another smaller region team may be better? If you've watched the Japanese League, give me a vibe on what this team is about, what the stats might not say, a little scouting report, if you will. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you want daily league content. Right now I'm doing 2 videos a day for the next few days, and then after that it'll probably be back down to 1, but there will be a video every day League of Legends related. Tomorrow starts the Big 4, the 4 major region teams and their previews. So we'll get to that, and I'm sure a lot of people are interested in how I have those teams stacked up, because obviously we are not going to kid ourselves. We would bet on one of those 4 teams before we would bet on the smaller regions coming out victorious in this tournament. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you come back for more content later today, which will be actually, if you have watched if you have watched this far, it will be a breakdown of how I rank the top laners. I'm going to figure out how I want to do it and form it on a board. And then I'm also going to have the top 3 champions that each one played, because that's where this was inspired from. Somebody commented on one of the videos saying it would be real interesting to see what the top most played champion was for each player. And I'm going to go over that in that video. So come back to the channel later today for that. And thank you for watching.